Welcome to Inside Roanoke. I'm Melinda Mayo, the Communications and Media Officer for the City of Roanoke. Today we're going to learn about the new eBranch Library at Crystal Spring. We're also going to hear about Parks and Recreation virtual programs and a lot more, so stay with us.
Rectangular Rapid Flashing Beacons. We'll call them RRFBs for short. So what are they? RRFBs help pedestrians cross busy, unsignaled intersections. City of Roanoke has installed 2 of these devices, one on Dell Avenue near Fallon Park Elementary and one at 11th Street at Orange Avenue Northwest. The pedestrian presses a button and the lights begin to flash, alerting motorists that a pedestrian is about to cross. The pedestrian will then ensure that the motorist comes to a complete stop, making eye contact to confirm. Once the motorist has stopped, the pedestrian may safely cross, scanning to ensure all vehicles in all lanes have stopped. City of Roanoke wants to ensure that our citizens who travel by foot are getting where they need to go safely and efficiently. Drivers, when you see the flashing lights at these intersections, please stop and allow pedestrians to cross safely. If you follow these guidelines, we can all make Roanoke a much more walkable city.
My guest is Sheila Umberger, and Sheila is the Director of Roanoke Public Libraries. And Sheila, we're very excited to learn that Crystal Spring has a library eBranch. Start by telling us what an eBranch is and what's special about this one.
Well, eBranch, the concept of an eBranch is it's a service point in an underserved area or an area where folks are wanting service. So this has been in our capital plan for 15 years, so we're really excited to open this eBranch in South Roanoke. But an eBranch basically will provide services either in the past lockers, in this case the books are on site in the unit, and a book drop, both drive-up and walk-up book drops.
And this one's special. Talk about the difference between this one and others.
We've had our eye on this one for about 10 years, and what sold us on this unit is it's a company in Germany, and they have a really strong foothold. They're very innovative, and it holds books, and it will dispense the books, and you can also request books go there. But what we really liked about this over the last 10 years, it has the ability to be outside. So it has like humidity and heat control inside. It's really a fascinating piece of technology.
And we're the first one in Virginia, is that right, to have it?
We're the first one in Virginia to have this unit, but we're also the first one in the United States to have this particular model. So we had a lot of fun. You know, my background is technology before I was director, so it's been a very interesting project to bring forward. So yeah, the books come in on trays and they move about, and it's a very interesting product. It also talks to the service that customers are used to. So if you go in and go on our online catalog, it actually connects to that. So you can find out what's in it by doing the drop down and looking for Crystal Spring eBranch.
So you said Crystal Spring, but where in Crystal Spring? Give us an idea of where that location is.
We're right down in the business center, right across from the post office, and very adjacent to the green.
Okay, and what hours is it open?
It's open 24/7.
Really?
Yeah. So it's always open, and that's the first we've had of that as well. So it's a really nice, it serves the neighborhood, but we're also very close to the Carillon complex. There are a lot of people that are working, so it's a convenience factor as well.
So the services are, they can check out books, or what other things can they do there at that eBranch? Yeah,
what they can do is if you go up there, you can search the unit for material so you can see what's in it. It holds about 500 books and DVDs. So anything from bestsellers to children's books to DVDs. Also have slots in there if you request a book from any of our other locations to actually be delivered there. So we'll take it to that branch and you can pick it up there. Also the traditional services where you're able to return a book, which is just a normal book drop. So we have one at the unit. We have one over on the Village Green there that's drive up.
And we had a ribbon cutting ceremony recently. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony, socially distanced like we are, and the mayor cut the ribbon with us, and it was really exciting to have a few neighborhood folks there. Had the donut truck there, so because we've been down there working on it, we want people to know it's open and that they can now use the unit.
So, just for people who are watching, we have other e-branches, right?
Right.
Talk about those a little.
We probably had one of the first ones in the country. We actually won an award with Valley View Mall on the first one. We opened that in 2007. So it's on the upper level of Valley View Mall, and it started with a kiosk and wireless and all that, and that was the only place in the mall that had that. It has 50 lockers, so we will deliver books to that location. Also has a traditional book drop. We also do story time there. And then we have a Drive Up book drop and 25 lockers at Garden City Rec Center. Again, those were areas that were identified in our master plan as being areas that people wanted a service point to the library. So really think of an e-branch as a service point.
Right, because those locations are far away from the branches.
Right, and also just a convenience. So like we had already put in the drive-through book drop over in Crystal Springs, South Roanoke, because citizens had asked for that. So as you know, we also have book drops all over the city, down in Grandin Village and over New Municipal, that we just are trying to make it convenient for everybody to be able to use library services.
Well, it's a really cool thing. It's something no one else has, and I hope people will stop by and check it out. If somebody wanted more information about the libraries or the e-branch, how do they get that?
You can go onto our website. We also have on our website information about specifically about the e-branch, how to use it. So we have some kind of cheat sheets on there. We also have it manned via its own phone number. So if you have a branch, they have a phone. You know, so this one doesn't have a phone, but because of the technology, we actually created an e-phone number that you can call, and we have folks that are on call to answer questions within certain periods of time. You can also text that because one of the things you have to do there is have your PIN with your, and so if you do hold, you might know your PIN, but if you don't, we can either reset it or help you with that. So we're giving support to that location via that phone number.
That's great. We're so proud of our libraries, and thank you for sharing this with us today.
Oh, thank you, and hope everybody comes out and tries it out. Yeah, check out a book.
Thanks.
The Roanoke River is a beautiful natural resource we want to preserve for everyone to enjoy. A big part of that is keeping it clean. So how does all this trash get here? Well, when it rains, litter from our streets washes into the storm drain system, which leads to the river without ever being cleaned. That's right, if it's in our streets, it's in our streams. The Adopt a Street program is a great way to be part of the solution and not the pollution. Sign up today and start organizing cleanups in your neighborhood. Clean streets equals clean streams. Together, we can create a clean water legacy.
In Roanoke, too many pedestrians are involved in crashes and close calls with cars. The City of Roanoke wants to remind you that by following Virginia laws, you can do your part to prevent injuries. Drivers, stop at the corner. It's the law. Pedestrians cross at the corner.
I'm talking to Kat Andrew and also Audrey Campbell, and we're talking about Parks and Recreation virtual programming. And I know this year with COVID-19, we haven't been able to do all the outdoor activities that we like, but Parks and Rec's got really creative and has some virtual programs to interact with the people who use our programming. So start by talking about the 100-miler. I know that people have to do it on their own, but you also have some interaction with that. Talk about that a little bit.
Definitely. So the 100-miler is, as it always is, primarily self-led. However, this year we partnered with our sponsors to offer some virtual workshops. You know, with virtual programming, the important thing is, it's easy to utilize technology to communicate with people, but how do you continue to keep people engaged and active? So virtual workshops, lives, challenges, posts like that. Yeah.
And then we have some take-home activities, things that people can do at home from their computers. Talk a little bit about that.
So other than just primarily virtual programs, we do have some kits that people can register for. So they will, register for the kit, and then we include instructions and materials so that they can develop the recreational programs and recreate from home.
And I understand they're doing something in March, some sort of wellness retreat.
So this is a wellness virtual retreat. So it's going to be virtual workshops, but we're also going to have a kit that people will pick up and then utilize those materials throughout the week-long virtual retreat with those materials.
And then PlayQuest, that's another thing we do. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. So PlayQuest is new this year. It actually just happened. It was for the entire month of January. So we had, we used an app called Goose Chase, and so it's a mission-based scavenger hunt. So we actually loaded in 192 missions. We had over 170 people interact with the app and participate. They were on 67 teams, and they had to go out each week. About 30 missions were introduced, and they had to go out and do these missions. And we had everything from bake something new or try a new food to visit a park or specific trail. Then we also threw in some pop-up challenges where we made people polar plunge into whatever they wanted to polar plunge. So we had people swimming in snowbanks and in the Roanoke River and everything in between, so it was a lot of fun.
How are we going to do, like I know in May, I think it's May, we have Kids to Park Day. How are we going to do that?
So very similarly, we're going to use the same app, and Kids to Park Day is on May 15th, and we're going to do a mission, scavenger hunt. So there will be signs in most of our parks and playgrounds, and a participant can go up, scan the sign with their phone, and then it will load the app. They can go download that, and then they can participate in the missions. It'll only be for that day, so it won't be a month long. It'll just be that day, and there'll be some fun prizes and incentives.
And we're planning something, I think in August, some kind of fitness event. You want to talk about that?
This will be the second annual Great Greenway Tour. This is an initiative to get everyone to visit every single one of the greenways, Roanoke City greenways, and they will be emailed, and there will be Facebook posts for GPS coordinates and a riddle to help them find a specific location on the greenway. I'll give them a greenway passport, so they'll punch their greenway passport as they go along, and they'll get to tour all over Roanoke for the summer.
Either one of you, why do you think it's so important to keep offering these programs, to keep engaging our citizens, the people who want to be involved in our parks programs? Why is it so important?
Yeah, absolutely. So we really saw this with PlayQuest. People they still have this yearning to connect with their community, and we really want to provide a way for people to get out and active and stick together. It's hard to be all cooped up in your house, and it's nice to have these opportunities to just have different activities to do or connect with other people.
Well, if somebody wanted more information, let's say they heard about something we spoke about today, how would they get that? Who would they call?
Well, they can call our main office, but also just go to playroanoke.com. Everything is listed. We also are very active on social media, so you can check out our Instagram, Play Roanoke, and Facebook as well.
Well, kudos to you guys for keeping those programs going for our citizens. It's great, and thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection's Food Pantry program is an ongoing effort to help keep pets in their homes and out of the shelter. You can help by donating the following items: canned cat and dog food, dry cat and dog food, cat litter and toys to the RCACP Food Pantry. To participate in the program, visit rcacp.org or come by 1510 Baldwin Avenue, Northeast Roanoke to get more information. Your donation can help a dog or cat stay in their home.
My guest is Chief David Hoback, and we're here at the new Fire Station 7. Chief, we want to learn more about this station and start by introducing your team that helped with the project, and they're here with you today.
Yeah, Melinda, I want to share with you, we started this project and with a strategic business plan in 2012 approved by the city manager. We had 3 stations that we need to replace. This is the first of those 3 stations. The project really ramped up in 2014. I put together a committee. It started out with about 10 people, and it dwindled down to about really 7 active people that have carried the project from 2014 to today.
Okay.
And it really is driven by the employees and what their values are and how they want this station to operate. So we had that team put together, and I will tell you, before I introduce them, this team has done everything for this station as it relates to paint colors, brick, circulation space, programming, the amount of room we need in each one of the areas, to picking out the blinds and the kitchen countertops, to the cabinets. The detail work that this committee's put into this station is phenomenal. And we're very proud of what the end product is, and the hats off to them, because it's not about me, it's about right now we have 5 people behind me, but we have one, Battalion Chief Matt Dewhurst is not able to make it today, and the Deputy Chief Altman, who had retired. So I'll start from my left to right is Tyrone Harrington, Lieutenant at Station 7. Adam Fleming is a Lieutenant at Station 1. Kelly Waskowitz, which is Acting Captain, Station 7. Matt Furrow, who is Acting Captain, Station 7. And Tom Gurman, who is Captain at Station 7. They have ownership here, and of course this is their house. And it is really, I can't tell you how proud of their work, but what this project has become.
So this station is located in the Grandin area, right? And there was a lot of history with the old station. Talk about what you did to try to keep some of that as part of the station.
As you know, in the Grandin Road area, there's not much land to build a station. And when we started building the station, we knew we had to build a station that's going to sustain fire and rescue services for the next 75 years or more or longer, because the old station served over 90 years. It was built in 1922, had a lot of character, a lot of history, a lot of richness for this community, and the community was very passionate about it. But we knew very early on in the project that really the only site to build on was the old station site. And we knew in doing that we'd also have to realign Denniston to give us enough land for parking and the 16,000 square foot building we needed to build. So we went through that process, and by doing so, we said that if we had, when we took the old building down, we would carry components of that old building forward into the new, and we have done that. And the gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen behind me will talk about that, what we've done to kind of showcase what used to be here to what is here today.
Okay, and so the project, give us a little idea of the timeline and the cost of the facility.
Well, we started the actual station closure so that we could start the construction was in July of 19, July of 19. And then actual construction started in November as we demoed the building. And then from there, we have substantial completion mid-February, and today we've occupied February 16th. The ladder company and the medic unit started running out of the station. So we've gone about 18 months of construction, 19 months of construction. It's been a venture. It's been frustrating at times. It's been tenuous at times, but in the end result, it's been very rewarding.
What are some of the features of this station that are going to provide better service for the people who work here and the people in the community?
Well, the old station would fit in the first 2 bays. It kind of gives you a footprint. We've gone from 4,000 square feet to 16,000 square feet. We made the bays big enough to accommodate modern fire apparatus. We made the dormitories ability to accommodate gender diversity and have females working in the stations. We made it so that they can have workout facilities. We made it so that they have now what's called a hot washroom. They come in off a nasty fire, they go in there, they get cleaned up before they go into the residential area, the dorm area upstairs. So it keeps the carcinogens down. You know, they now have a functional kitchen where the old kitchen wasn't functional. And they have a day room. They have a lot of features. The technology in this building is phenomenal, the stuff that they can do with the new modern facility.
And how does that make the service to the people who live here? How does it improve it?
Well, it does. As you look at the departure points and our ability to get out of the station quicker, we don't have the old rickety doors going up, so we got quicker response times, but it also keeps our workforce healthier. So the people here have a workout facility. They can do the regimen here. They're not doing it in the bay, in the nasty bay that they had before. So they have a lot of functions here that can help them stay prepared to respond, but also going out the door is a lot quicker, a lot better now. We're not departing out onto an active street like we were on Denniston and then go out to Memorial. Now we go straight out to Memorial and we can take a left and right and get places a lot quicker.
And there was a grand opening held for this event, and we invited the media to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the grand opening was held on the 24th at noon here, where we have invited a certain guest. Because of COVID, we're not allowed to have the general public in here, but we are going to do a virtual tour, and did a virtual tour so that they could see what the station has and the character of the station and what we move forward. We did partner with the Roanoke Preservation Group. They actually put a sign at the station. It hasn't been completed yet. It will be here in a couple of weeks. A sign that kind of tells the history of Old Station 7 and the need to replace it with a new station and be in support of that project. So I've had them go through the building and they've seen what we've carried forward, and they're excited about that as well. And if you go, in a few minutes we're going to share with that, but as you go through this building, the woodwork, the doors, we have an old engine front. There's a sister to the engine that used to be here, is in the training room. Pantry doors, which used to be our locker doors, are in our kitchen. And we have a brick wall as you go in the main entranceway. It's from the old 22 brick that came off the building. So it's an accent wall, and Kelly Waskowitz, the acting captain here, kind of designed that wall to kind of carry it forward to see the architecture that used to be to what it is today. And it just really is phenomenal to see how that transition's worked. The vision that the ladies and gentlemen behind me had to make this project be successful has all come into reality.
Well, and we had kind of a big deal, a little parade to bring back some public art not too long ago. Our Trojan dog, talk about that.
I will tell you, that Trojan dog has been a focal point of this station. More people have been vocal about, is the dog coming back? Is the dog coming back? And we promised, I promised, we all promised that the dog would have a home here. And last 2 Saturdays ago, the dog came home. The dog is actually sitting on brick that came from the old station, the platform. But it was raining and cold that day, and we had people out on Grandin Road, people out on Memorial to see the dog come home. A lot of stress on these individuals behind me because we had to get the dog off the trailer and then get it set and get it mounted and get it bolted down in a short period of time, but it was very successful, and I have gotten so many compliments, the fact that now the dog is home, the station looks like it should look. And people from all over have made those comments, all over the state and even outside Virginia.
Well, this facility is such an exciting project. The community's excited about it. I know the people who work here are excited about it, and we are so appreciative of you talking to us today and sharing something about it.
Well, thank you, Melinda.
Thank you.
In Virginia, every corner is a crosswalk, whether a crosswalk is painted or not. Join us in making Roanoke a safe place for everyone. Drivers, stop at the corner. It's the law. Pedestrians cross at the corner.
My guest is Crystal Hall, and Crystal is with the Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority. Crystal, thank you for talking to us today. We want to learn more about the Housing Authority and start with telling us about the Resident Services Department. What does that do, and how does that work?
Sure. Well, everybody knows that the Housing Authority does housing. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but a lot of people aren't aware of the fact that a large part of our mission actually has to do with helping residents to become self-sufficient. And so that's where the Resident Services Department comes in. We actually get grant funding from HUD every year for a couple of different things. First of all is our Family Self-Sufficiency Program. And that program is a 5-year program that's open to anybody who's in public housing or who has a Section 8 voucher. So those folks come in and meet with a case manager, and they set up a 5-year plan with employment as the final goal. But it could include any kind of goals, like if they want to go back to school or if they want to get a driver's license. It really is, it's an individualized plan, so it really has to do with what they particularly need. So they work on that over 5 years, and they come in regularly and meet with their case manager, and we set them up with any kind of resources or help that they need to overcome any barriers or obstacles that might be in their way. And then we also set them up with what's called an escrow account. And so let's say, for example, if somebody comes in and they're not working, and maybe they start with a rent of $100 a month. So what happens is, as they get a job and then their earned income increases, their rent is going to increase because it's income-based rent. So maybe their rent goes up to $300 a month based on their income. So we put a portion of that difference into an escrow account every month, and it accumulates every month over the course of 5 years. And then at the end of the 5 years, if they've completed everything in the program and they graduate from the program, then they get a check written to them for what's in the escrow account. So we've had some folks who've done really well with that, and then they've used that for things like purchasing a car or paying off debt, or we've even had some that have become homeowners. They've used that as a down payment on a home.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So the other grant that we have is called the Resident Opportunities for Self-Sufficiency Grant, and we call that ROSS for short. It's similar to the Family Self-Sufficiency Program in that we provide them with a lot of the same resources. The difference is that you don't actually have to enroll in that grant in order to get help from staff. But you work on a lot of the same things, job resources, school, financial resources. So our staff are there to help basically with anything that the residents need.
Now, I know that the Housing Authority is involved with the Envision Center. Talk about how that benefits the entire Roanoke community, as well as the people in the Housing Authority.
Sure. In November of 2019, HUD designated us as an Envision Center site. And so we were fortunate to be able to work with our partners in the Roanoke Valley to set up a centralized location where anyone who needs help can come in, and we have a computer lab if they need to search for a job. We have mental health resources. We have financial resources. So basically, it's a place where you can come, and if we don't have the resource available, we're going to find a partner to work with us that can provide that resource for not only housing residents, but anybody who needs the assistance.
And I know you're the director of the Community Support Services. How important is it to have community partners to help provide opportunities and support?
It's essential. Like I said, we have staff that do case management, but our staff aren't jacks of all trades. They're not experts in finance, they're not experts in health, they're not experts in a lot of the things that residents need. But we are experts in reaching out to our partners in the Roanoke Valley who can provide those services. So we have the people, they have the resources, and so it's our job to connect the two.
Well, is there anything we haven't covered that you'd like to add to what we've said today?
I can't think of anything else. I just appreciate you letting us come and talk about our programs.
If somebody wanted more information, how could they get it?
Sure, they can contact us at the Roanoke Housing Authority, or they can go to our website at rkehousing.org.
Crystal, thanks for sharing all that with us today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
The Roanoke Police Department has some simple tips for citizens to help prevent property crimes. Always lock your car doors whenever you park. Put any purses, packages, or valuables in your trunk or cover them up. If you have an outside storage shed, remember to keep it locked. At home, make sure you have good locks on your windows and doors. The more complicated the lock, such as a deadbolt, the harder it is for someone to break into your home. For more information, call the Crime Prevention Unit at 853-5613.
In the city of Roanoke, storm drains lead directly to local streams, and the water is not treated. Only rain should go down the drain.
We believe in partnering with citizens to transform local waterways into community assets for those that live, work, and play in the Roanoke River watershed. Help us be part of the solution, not the pollution.
We hope you've enjoyed this month's show, and we'll see you next time on Inside Roanoke.